We are recording. All right. So
Yay.
welcome everyone. Hey, I'm Jen Danielson, and this is the second official Connect Your Dots. I don't know. Is it still a podcast if we do this online with video? I don't know. It will be audio eventually, so I'm going to call it a podcast. And so this is how we just talk with people, lovely people from all walks of life doing their thing and connecting their dots in life, in business, in family, in fun, all across the board, how they do it, what that looks like, what that web of their life looks like for them. And today we've got Lila Simmons. Yay, hi. And
Hi.
Lila, I'm going to read this here. Lila is a bold life activist and badass healing artist. So there we go. All about wisdom and giggles, on mission to bring light to the dark places of life. And you've got this, oh my God, you've got this going on. I was looking through energy, through aromatherapy, through prayer and appreciation. And I'm going to get the right word, radical, what do we call it? Radical gratitude.
I think I called it radical gratitude on there, but that's wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Feel free to correct me. What is it?
It's not
what
you, it's my website that needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
It's extreme gratitude.
Extreme gratitude. Okay.
Yeah, radical gratitude is Colin tipping, y'all. Extreme gratitude. It originated from Melody Beattie. She wrote a book called Make Miracles in 40 Days.
Okay,
And,
yes.
I literally used the process that she walks you through in that book to go from, oh my God, where am I going to live? Because I had 6 weeks to find a place to live, 3 children, only 2 of which were in school, a very sketchy freelance business. And when I say sketchy, I mean like I made money kind of sometimes. No credit, horrible credit. It was bad. No car, and I live in the land of bad public transportation, and no childcare. So it was like a miracle was necessary. And I was going through this coach training program, which I didn't need, but I needed my accountability partner. She was awesome. So I got this book in the mail 2 years late. My friend was supposed to send me this book from New York, this box of books, and this box of books came in the mail, and there was a book in there called Make Miracles in 40 Days.
Okay.
And I opened it and I started reading it, and I went, Susan, I have this process. Do you want to do it with me? It sounds like fun. I need an accountability partner. You're my accountability partner. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And we did. And within 3 weeks of starting that process, we were in a secure space where we could be for at least a year while I got on my feet. And that was a miracle. So, yeah. So extreme gratitude, it arrived from that book. And it is the process of giving thanks for the shitty stuff.
Okay.
Which we don't want to do that. We're all like, gratitude is warm and fluffy and fuzzy, and I want to feel good.
Yeah.
And my lists were like, I give thanks that I have no idea where the hell we're going to live in 3 weeks or 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks that I had 6 weeks to find a place to live. Like, I give thanks that I have no car. I give thanks that I have no job. I give thanks that I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I give thanks that I don't even want to freaking do this anymore. Like, that's what my lists looked like for that 3 weeks. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, when we had a solution 3 weeks early, I was like, whoa.
something
so
clicked in there.
That's part of the process that I teach.
There you go.
Yeah, well, in order to receive anything, make space for it. And when things aren't working in our lives, when my house is a mess, when my children aren't doing their chores, when I really feel like an orphaned only child, single parent who wants to kill the other parent who isn't participating, there's all of that energy and there's no space for the juiciness to come in.
Okay.
So extreme gratitude, my list says I give thanks for. So I'm giving to make room for what I would like to receive.
So shifting that whole energy to say this is, acknowledging and appreciating what's going on there. I'm going to do the handstand because the handstand is fun.
And we really don't have to feel gratitude because Susan and I are still doing this process. Like, it was working. We were not going to stop.
Exactly. Look what happened.
And so today is day 450.
Mm-hmm.
And within the last, we'll say, year and a half, some pretty heavy things have occurred. My best friend died.
Oh, nice.
So my list was, I give thanks that I don't get to talk to him. Like, I won't get to hold his hand anymore. Mm-hmm. I won't get to, when I drive into Memphis, he's not going to be there. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't feel good, but it got it out. It got it out of my body and out of my energy. And the grieving process was much shorter than I anticipated. I promise you, I thought I would still be crying today. Yeah. Because I cried from the second I heard about it until I arrived at work Monday morning. To get a phone call at 6 p.m. Friday night. And I cried until Monday. And when I got to work, I stopped crying and said to my team, I said, my best friend died on Friday. And so I might randomly burst into tears. I just want you to know, if I do, I'll go in the bathroom. I'll be fine later. Yeah. But I gave myself that space, and I really didn't think the grief was ever going to end. But psychic, and I can still hear him. And crap, because he left voice messages. We left each other voice messages all the time. So gosh. I pulled those into email, but it made that process a lot easier than it would have been if I didn't have, extreme gratitude and inner feng shui and all those things.
So you're staying connected to what's going on through this gratitude process, staying connected to everything that's going on, regardless of whether it's labeled good or bad or positive or negative or whatever it is. You stay connected to that and acknowledge that and give it, I'm going to say give it the respect that it's due. I don't know that respect is the word that I want to use, but you're giving it the presence that it's due, maybe, to an acknowledgement, as you say, to make space to allow other things to connect in. So you talked before, you were talking about how you're doing a lot of this connection or reconnection to joy. So where does that fit in? And does that flow, do you think, from this a little bit? Or is this another piece that comes in from the side there?
I've just noticed a lot of people coming forward. That was how we came up with today's topic. I've noticed a lot of people saying, this isn't working. I'm good at business. I've been trying. These Facebook ads aren't converting. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I'm like, dude, go color. I'm on the phone with one of my friends who also happens to be one of my clients, and she's like screaming at the kid, and I'm like, dude, like, that's not you. You're like wigging out. I need you to find some joy. She's like, this business isn't working, and this co-parent sucks, and this child doesn't listen to me anymore. And I'm like, you do nothing but work. You work 7 days a week. If you take time off of work, you are working your business. Like, I don't hear any joy. She's like, I don't have any friends here. Take yourself out on a date. I've gotten very good at taking myself out on dates. Treating myself the way I desire life to treat me. And the results of that are amazing. Like, she went and got a mani-pedi. Like, that's one of her things. She's girly. And since the mani-pedi, she's been like, yes, I'm calm and I'm all the things, and my confidence has returned. But we tend to, in our society, we're very go, go, go. We're very do. And we don't take the time to enjoy like much, I was watching Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes.
And the first time I watched the movie, it annoyed me because I read the book and the book was perfect.
Yeah.
And then I watched the movie and I was like, Julia,
Yeah, I know.
why? But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, that bathroom scene was wrong. But anyway, there's a scene in there where one of the characters, Luca Spaghetti, says, "You Americans don't know how to enjoy."
Mm.
Like they have an Italian phrase that says that's the beauty of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, there's power in that.
Yeah.
Like we tend to think that we have to always be going and we have to be so ambitious. And I don't have a bit of ambition in me. Will Smith talks about his success of like, if we both get on a treadmill, I can guarantee you one of two things will happen. Either you'll get off first or I'll die on the treadmill. I'm like, dude, I'm off.
Yeah, I know. Fine. Nobody needs to go there.
I will get off the treadmill. Yeah, I'll get off the treadmill. I will get back on later. I'll get some water. I'll take a break. Like, so it's that component of like the joy being missing.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even think about it, honestly, as a society. So when people are like, oh, this isn't working, I'm like, when is the last time you went outside to play? Mm-hmm. Like, when's the last time you took off hot candles and smelly, good, pretty things? When was your last mani-pedi?
Yeah. Let's not go there.
My guides actually, me neither, but my guides actually recommended one of my clients play with Play-Doh. I was like, I don't know what's in this Play-Doh for you, but they keep talking about Play-Doh. So I highly recommend you get some Play-Doh. She was like, I haven't played with Play-Doh since I was a child. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering. I'm going, okay, so we can talk about getting back out and connecting to joy. And I get to these points where I'm like, damn it, I'm going for a walk. And to me, that's reset. Is it, it can get to joy. It can be joyous. It can be lovely and amazing. But most of the time it's like, it's so I don't kill somebody. Mm-hmm. So how do you make that shift? And how do you make that connection from go get a mani-pedi and damn it, find joy in it? Do you know that, like I could go sit in a mani-pedi chair and be horrible the whole time. So say I'm going and this will be joyous. This will be joyous.
Well, if that's your thing, my thing isn't a mani-pedi. My thing is a haircut. If my hair gets so long that I have to pick it, I need to go to the barbershop. And the longer it takes me to get to the barbershop, the grouchier I am on just a small level. Like it's not a lot of grouchy, but it's a little bit of grouchy. And I'm like a whole nother person when my hair is cut. And I'm like, I brush and go. I'm a fan of ease. Mm-hmm. I don't have a top sheet on my bed for that reason. It's just a comforter.
Yep.
So like I get up, I pull the comforter up, ready to go.
Done. Yep.
But you have to know your unique places of joy. So for you, it's going for a walk. Yep. So instead of let me go for a walk before I kill somebody, maybe you know,
preemptive walking here. Yeah.
You get up, throw on the yoga pants, go for a walk, then come back. Or if I start getting homicidal around 2, go for a walk at 1.
Exactly.
You won't get to homicidal.
So how do you get to those when you're looking at somebody who doesn't know that? You said you had the suggestion for your one client of Play-Doh. Mm-hmm. How do somebody sits there and goes, I have no idea anymore.
What did you like when you were 3?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We don't.
What did I like when I was 3? That's a long time ago.
We don't change much. We really don't.
Okay.
We just get society throws stuff at us and some of it sticks. And so I love to talk. And my side gig is public speaking. I go into high schools, I go into classrooms and talk to the students about life skills things. And of course, I'm marketing the college while I'm there. But when I was 3 or 4, I used to lecture the stray cats and dogs in my neighborhood.
Oh,
They would sit and listen to you. If you've gotten a cat to sit still and listen to you give a lecture, you have talent.
yes. Oh my God. Okay.
And we don't change. I was always outside and I was always reading a book.
Yeah.
And my happy place now is my local park. There's a pond in the park. I'm just remembering this. So there's a pond in my park with a fountain. Everywhere I move, I have to find the pond.
Okay.
I have to find some moving water.
Yeah.
Well, the house that I grew up in had a river running behind it. I completely just remembered that in this moment.
Yeah.
But we really don't change. So if you can't remember who you were when you were 3, 4, 5, ask your mom, your grandparents, your cousins who were older than you. They'll remind you of that thing that you always did. My daughter liked to read my books, the ones with the words in it. The books with the pictures in it, they didn't really fascinate her much. The ones with the words in it, she was all about those. And I was like, she's going to eat my books. She didn't.
No.
She was an infant.
Yeah.
And she sat on the sofa and she turned the pages and she stared at the words.
Yeah.
And she likes to read. And she reads about 4 or 5 grade levels above where she should be reading.
Yeah.
Because reading is her thing.
Yeah. So, so I love that connecting. Okay, so I'm going to we're using the word connecting a lot. So connecting back into yourself and saying, what was it that I had that was my thing, that brought me joy,
that I loved,
that was there, that's still mine. And then what does that do? Like, how does that spread out then to the rest of your life? How do you see that? There's this ripple effect, and I'm imagining this whole thing just breaking through and adjusting.
Yeah.
What does that create?
It turns into better parenting relationships.
Yeah.
It turns into clients in your business. It turns into business ideas. I had a session with a client, and the next day she inboxed me and she said, "Oh my God, I'm going to do this Instagram project."
Yeah.
And she didn't make the connection that I did. I was like, that's what happens when I clear your chakras.
Yeah. Yep.
It turns into dates. Yeah. I had one client go from guys don't see me to I have a date.
Oh my gosh.
All these guys are flirting with me and I have a date. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. Yeah.
So is it, I can almost, I'm curious, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm getting sort of is a combination of not only are you changing the energy that you're then putting out in the world because you've tapped into that joy, and you're changing, which is then in turn, it's all the cyclical thing, is going to change the way people are seeing you, change the way they're interacting with you back, and create. It's
absolutely.
Almost, yeah.
Absolutely. Even those relationships that aren't so fantastic. So, my mother-in-law is like very quiet. I don't feel that, oh my God, Lila, I'm so happy to see you. Like, there was never any of that. I was just like, this lady doesn't know I exist. I just happened to marry her son. And then one day she called. Now, the miraculous thing about her calling is that she didn't have our phone number because it had recently changed. So she had to like call some other people to find our phone number so that she could call just to check on me and the baby.
Okay.
And I went, oh my God, what? And I had just started studying Abraham Hicks. And I was like, it works. Like, when I change, the people around me change. Because this lady has been, like, she would never come into our house. She would pull into the driveway and, like, have her son come out and talk to her, or she'd stand at the door and talk to him. And she was calling just to see how me and the baby were doing. I was like, Lord.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't just change potential relationships, it changes current relationships
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So What's the I was gonna say what's not weird. It's not weirdest because, like you said, everybody's joy is in. They've all got their own. They've all got. What are some other sort of like? How little does it get? We're talking playing with Play-Doh. We're talking mani-pedi. We're talking haircuts. We're talking. You don't need to go skydiving. You don't need to go on the world travel. What
Sometimes you need to get some cookies and eat them.
Yeah.
Which,
that too.
doesn't sound like a healthy recommendation, but I promise you, if you are following your inner guidance, you won't get fat and you won't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
I went on a cookie. My friends call me Cookie Monster because I really like cookies.
Yeah.
And I'm a tiny human, y'all. You can't see all of me, but I'm a tiny person. I weigh like 116. But I love me some cookies. And there's, sometimes you can have a conversation with the cookies and you can be like, listen, you are going to turn into muscles the next time I get on a bike. Okay?
I like
the
that.
next time I hit the yoga mat, or
I am totally gonna
it's all energy. It's all energy.
Yeah.
So you can tell those cookies, you can be like, okay, golden Oreos, listen, here's what we're gonna do.
Here's the deal.
I'm going to eat 4 of you. Actually, I ate an entire little container.
Yeah.
Don't get the mini golden Oreos.
No.
They're a bad idea.
Okay.
Because I ate the whole thing.
You just eat the whole thing,
3.5 servings.
Might as well. There's so few of them. And they're little, exactly. What harm are they doing?
3.5 servings, though. But I had a whole conversation with the mini Oreos, and I was like, here's what we're going to do. You're going to turn into endorphins and nothing else, okay?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what we do. Yeah. So it really doesn't get too small. Don't be afraid to play with glitter.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, maybe. There's the joy in the glitter and the less joy in the vacuuming up the glitter. Maybe. Okay, so,
maybe.
Headspace. So, you find your joy. You get the joy, you're infused with it. It starts impacting the energy you're putting out there. It starts impacting your relationships. It starts impacting your relationships with everything else in your life. How does that roll into, or does it, or what's the impact when it hits something that is almost the antithesis of the joy for you?
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I reference books because I'm a nerd.
Fair.
And I've been reading forever and studying personal and spiritual development since I was 14. So I have like 20 years of practice, study, practical application, because my first marriage was all about putting into practice everything I was learning. But anyway, so Lynn Grabhorn writes in Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting that there will be a crash. So you cannot go from 300 pounds to your ideal weight, whether that's, 150 or 180 in one kale salad. You can't go from depression to joy without having a boomerang.
Okay.
So if you are way down the emotional scale, if you're down there in like depression or rage or fear or despair, it's going to take a minute and it's going to take a lot of practice for you to really get to joy. If you do get to joy, don't worry about the crash. Just get up, take a candlelit shower, and keep it moving.
Okay.
Just know that, you won't get all the way back down to despair. You might get to joy and then crash back down in a rage.
Okay.
Rage is so much better than despair. It's not better for the people around you.
Yeah.
But it's better for you.
But better for you.
Yeah. So
that incremental.
The thing about the work that I do is to make that journey lighter, so that there isn't that snapback effect. So instead of rearranging every area of your life and have it all go from shit to amazing.
Yeah.
Like I did not go from, oh my God, where are we going to live, to a 5-bedroom, 5-bath McMansion. No, we were all in one bedroom, but I knew we could be there for a year.
Yeah.
I knew I had time. I knew I had space.
Yes.
I knew I had, the space to create more and to make it bigger. Okay. And at the end of that year, we got the entire apartment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was steps. It wasn't enormous, but it was just enough of an upgrade to get me to the next place.
Right.
And now the next place is the McMansion.
And again, that incremental. So how do you see it? I mean, yeah, there's sort of the two pieces where you come up and then, as you say, you could have that little step back a little bit and then you keep moving again. How do you see joy sort of, oh God, can joy insinuate? I don't want to work its way into some of the areas and change some of the areas that may be, like I'm thinking, something's not going right in work life. Your job is actually causing you stress and all that kind of stuff. And so you get to that, start to bring up your joy with coloring or Play-Doh or getting out or whatever it is. And it starts to, I guess the joy is that going to raise the joy in your work? It could go two ways. Raise the joy in your work.
Or you could get fired.
You could get fired. Exactly. So where does that, or it makes you go, wait a minute, this is a problem over here. Now that I see the joy, this is a problem. So how that change, that ripple up there?
Well, I never intentionally change anything.
Right.
Except for me.
Right. Okay.
So I had that experience actually. I had a job that I loved and then it stopped being a job that I loved. I held on to it for 9 months and it crashed a lot of the areas of my life.
Okay.
Like I should have let it go when I stopped loving it, but I held on to it out of fear and desperation. And I went from being like the company darling to being written up in twice in a span of 3 weeks. And I went, it's time for me to go. It's so time for me to go. Yeah. So that's what happens when you don't pay attention. But when every other area of your life starts to raise and then you notice that one area that's, irritating or it's still not elevating with you, just keep sending that area love and light. I went back to speaking and I left the retail gig entirely and was just like, winter will figure itself out because I don't speak during the holidays. So I was like, that period of time will figure itself out and I won't worry about it. And it was fine. Yeah. So I wouldn't take any action in the job that wasn't inspired. I went back to speaking and then I quit the retail gig. But I think if I had quit in the beginning, it would have been a smoother transition. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So changing again, that the change that you were creating, that energy in yourself, butted up against something that wasn't fitting in your new presence. But yeah. So for someone who might be thinking like, I know I hate my job already. How do I get out of it? How do I bring more joy to it? I guess that was my question. Is it a matter of bringing joy to something that you dislike or using the joy to recognize what it is that's going on? Yeah.
I would work to bring joy to the job that you don't like or the relationship that you don't like. My favorite affirmation was, I bless you and I release you from all expectations. Because our expectations of things are the only things that make us miserable. So when we're
expectations are what makes us miserable. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Expectations breed disappointment.
Yeah.
When I cease to have expectations of my children's father, I don't bother with him at all. When I have expectations of him, I want to run him over. He hasn't changed. You know, our relationship dynamic hasn't changed, but my expectations, when they change, I show up different.
Yeah.
So part of that job that I started to hate was serving samples. And part of serving samples is standing outside in the hallway by myself because I'm the only person out there. There are no customers coming by. And it was, I bless this job and I release it from all expectations.
Yeah.
You know, with their dad, it was
we just came full circle back to thanking and appreciating what you've got going on. Oh, I see how you did that. I see how you did that. Okay.
Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, it is the expectations that are the problem.
Yeah.
So when we can let go of those expectations, things change. You might find that you are loving your job again.
Yeah.
You might find that the component of your job that you loved leaves. It was a horrible boss. Horrible boss is gone. You get to love your job again. Like everything that we're living was once a dream.
Okay.
And we start to live that dream, and then we create a new dream, and then the dream starts to irritate us that we're currently living because we now have a higher expectation or a higher standard. Yeah. So when we can release the expectations, then we're present and it allows for more joy.
I like the presence in what's happening right now, and mindful of what's going on right now, and mindful of the joy that's in this moment to take forward into the next space. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. We've been chatting it up for half an hour. It's been good. Unless, I mean, hey, feel free to keep talking. You said at the beginning, you're a talker. You get to keep talking if you want to. But I felt we went full circle. We started off with the gratitude. We got around and we brought joy into it, and bringing it back to the gratitude piece at the end again. To me, I'm going, I felt complete. So thank you.
Cool.
This was fun.
This is awesome.
I love this. So that was, again, oh my goodness, this is Lila Simmons, LilaSimmons.com. Badass healer, giggles, gratitude, and there you go. You've got her. And thank you for hanging out today. This is cool. We will have to do this again if you want to be back on again. I would love to have you back and do this again.
Just say when. I had a blast.
Definitely. So this is recording. We will have this up on the Blab afterwards. We will have this on YouTube, and there will be an audio on SoundCloud. And check Lila out at LilaSimmons.com. I'm at JenDanielson.com. We're connecting dots. We're connecting to joy. We're connecting to gratitude. Beautiful. Have a very lovely rest of your day. Thanks, folks, for hanging out.
Awesome.
Any last words in the comments over there? We've still got people with
us. Not that I see. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Have a good one. Get out in the sunshine with your kiddos. Okay, bye.
Thanks. I will enjoy your massage.
Thanks. Bye.